Howdy guys, thanks for joining me. As you can see, my side yard is overflowing with wood. So let's make a DIY firewood rack and clean it up some. And a big thank you to Simpson Strong Tie for sponsoring this video. I'm building this firewood rack with 16 pressure treated 2x4s. So the first step is getting them cut to length. I'm using a cordless circular saw and a speed square to ensure these cuts are square and that everything goes together smoothly. I'm using pressure treated lumber because it'll stand up to the elements and last a lot longer than standard wood. And with all the frame pieces cut, I checked in on my coworker who really wasn't pulling his weight. What's up with that, Oscar? Next, I used some of the scraps to double check my layout, and then I determined that a 1.5 inch gap between the boards would be good and easy because I could use scraps as spacers, and that would bring my overall depth to 14 inches. Then I cut some 14-inch pieces that are going to hold the side supports together. I did end up cutting way too many of them because I was going to use them for the roof, but as you'll see later, I don't end up using them all. So now it's time for assembly. To start, I am assembling the sides or the legs for the firewood rack, and I'm using some Simpson Strong Tie 2.5 inch deck drive wood screws. These are rated for outdoors and drive super easy without any pre-drilling. You'll also notice that I'm using a clamp to hold the two boards in place and a speed square to make sure everything stays in line while assembling. And then I have my 1.5 inch spacers to ensure proper placement of the middle board. And with the cross support attached on the bottom, it's time to install the other one. This one goes about 10 inches from the top so that we can create a shelf for all the small kindling pieces of wood. All right, we've got side 1 or the right side of the firewood rack, and then side 2 or the left side of the firewood rack. But before we finish assembly, we are going to go ahead and paint all the pieces black because we're going to be using Simpson Strong Tie rigid tie rail connectors that are powder coated black for the rest of assembly, and I don't want to get any paint on them. And this way we can also paint and seal the ends of the boards for added protection. If you would like to make yourself a DIY firewood rack, I have complete build plans available on my website. They come with a shopping list, tool list, cut list, and step-by-step instructions. I'll also leave a link in the description box below. If you're enjoying this video and don't want to miss any of my awesome builds, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Alright, while the paint is drying, I went ahead and leveled some pavers for the firewood rack to sit on. This isn't necessary because the wood is ground contact rated, but I thought it would be easier to keep it level when all the weight of the wood is added. Now to finish assembly, I added the Simpson Strong Tie rigid tie rail connectors to both ends of the cross support boards using their number 10 by 1.5 inch connector screws. Okay, attaching the first boards to the legs was a little tricky by myself. After a couple failed attempts, I was able to balance some scraps just right to secure the boards to the legs. Next, I added the front board. You'll notice that I have the cross boards sitting on those side supports and that the boards are being installed vertically. That paired with the connectors are going to make a super strong connection that can hold a ton of weight without bowing. I forgot to record it, but I added the last 3 cross supports flush with the tops of the legs, and then you see me here installing a 1 1/2 inch top cap across the front. I did add a 3/4 inch cap in the back, and that's going to give us our slope for the roof. Then, after some touch-up paint, it's time to install the metal roof. I bought a 6-foot piece of corrugated metal roofing from the store, but we need to cut it into 18-inch sections so that the ribs or water can flow from front to back. And to do that, I'm going to be using a wood and metal saw blade in my circular saw. Yes, you can cut metal with your circular saw. Using this blade, it was pretty easy. It was louder than normal, but once it was in there, it cut like butter. Once I got the panels spaced and overlapped how I liked it, I secured the metal panels to the frame using 1 1/2 inch self-sealing screws. The rubber washer helps prevent the water from leaking through the joint. You want to make sure that you don't over tighten them or squish the washer too much, or else it could fail. And this is a good angle where you can see the slope of the roof with the 1 1/2 inch top cap in the front and the 3/4 inch in the back. And just like that, my DIY firewood rack is complete. Well, except for loading it up with some wood. I absolutely love how this firewood rack turned out, and it's helping me really clean up part of the yard. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button and that you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss my next awesome build. And until next time, remember, build loud, build wild, and have an awesome day.